Nobody expected Jim Jones' own son to step into the chaos, but that's exactly what happened. In a shocking twist that has fans glued to their screens, Jim's son allegedly confronted Brooke Bailey and delivered a cold, cutting message that left the entire industry buzzing. "Your relationship with my father is over." Yes, you heard that right. The drama that has been quietly brewing between Jim Jones, reality TV star Brooke Bailey, and whispers of tension in the family has finally exploded in public. And the fallout. It's even uglier than anyone imagined. Sources claim the confrontation didn't happen behind closed doors. Oh no, it went down in a way that cameras, insiders, and social media sleuths couldn't ignore. Fans who thought Brooke Bailey was securing her spot in Jim's life are now scrambling to understand how everything fell apart in a single conversation. But here's the kicker. This wasn't just a son stepping up to defend his family. According to leaks, there's a much deeper betrayal hiding under the surface, one that could destroy Jim's reputation and Brooke's entire reality. TV image in one swipe dot. So what really went down? And why did Jim's son decide enough was enough? The name Jim Jones has always carried weight in hip-hop and reality TV circles. He's not just a rapper. He's an icon of Harlem, a star of love and hip-hop, and a figure whose personal life has fueled as many headlines as his music. For decades, his relationship with Chrissy Lampkin has been at the center of his story, a love saga filled with proposals, arguments, reconciliations, and endless speculation. Fans saw them as inseparable, even when their journey hit rough patches. But in the shadows of that long, complicated love story, whispers began to grow louder about Jim's alleged ties to other women. And one name that kept surfacing was Brooke Bailey. Brooke Bailey isn't a stranger to reality TV herself. Known from Basketball Wives and her high-profile modeling career, Brooke carved out her own lane in the entertainment industry. Bold, outspoken, and unapologetic, she built a reputation for commanding attention wherever she goes. So when rumors began swirling that she was linked to Jim Jones, fans immediately perked up. Could Jim, after years of ups and downs with Chrissy, really be moving into something new with Brooke? At first, the connection seemed like nothing more than gossip blogs fishing for clicks. Paparazzi shots were inconclusive. A dinner here, a party there. Social media posts were vague with subtle captions that had fans reading between the lines. But then came the sightings. Brooke seen at Jim's events, Jim liking Brooke's pictures, and cryptic comments that sent fan bases into full-blown detective mode. The situation grew even more intense when insiders began claiming that Jim's family was not happy. According to sources close to the Jones circle, Chrissy wasn't the only one upset. Jim's own son allegedly stepped in, making it clear that Brooke Bailey's presence in his father's life was crossing a line. And this is where things took a turn. Unlike typical hip-hop drama, which often plays out in diss tracks or Instagram lives, this confrontation reportedly happened face-to-face. Jim's son, who has mostly kept a low profile, allegedly approached Brooke directly and told her in no uncertain terms, "This relationship is over. My father might not say it, but I'm saying it for him." That sentence alone sent shockwaves through the industry. It wasn't just about a son interfering in his father's love life. It was about the legacy of Jim's relationship with Chrissy, the loyalty of family ties, and the thin line between private affairs and public humiliation. Why would Jim's son get involved? Some speculate it was about protecting Chrissy, who has stood by Jim for over 2 decades. Others believe it was about protecting Jim's reputation, preventing Brooke Bailey from gaining leverage or clout at the expense of the family brand. And then there are those who think the son simply had enough of the messy headlines and decided to put an end to it himself. What makes this even juicier is the timing. Just as this confrontation allegedly unfolded, Brooke Bailey was ramping up her visibility again, appearing at events, posting more provocatively on social media, and stirring speculation about her mystery man. Some fans thought she was positioning herself for a storyline, maybe even angling to cross over into love and hip-hop. But if Jim's son had his way, those plans just got derailed. The background is messy, but the tension is undeniable. Jim's history with Chrissy has always been complicated. Proposals that never led to weddings, breakups that never stuck, and a love story that felt unfinished. Adding Brooke Bailey into that mix was like tossing gasoline on an open flame. And when family got involved, it turned into an inferno. Fans are now asking, was this just a son protecting his father, or was it deeper than that? Was there more to Jim and Brooke's relationship than the public realized? And most importantly, what does this mean for Jim's future with Chrissy? Because if his son's words are true, then Brooke Bailey's chapter with Jim Jones has slammed shut. But as every reality TV fan knows, endings are rarely that simple. The confrontation didn't happen in whispers or behind closed doors. It went down in a way that was impossible to hide. According to insiders, Brooke Bailey arrived at a private event where Jim Jones was expected to appear. The energy was already tense. Chrissy Lampkin wasn't there, but family members and close friends of Jim were in the building, which meant all eyes were already on Brooke. She walked in confident, draped in designer, smiling like she owned the room. But she had no idea that Jim's son had been waiting for this exact moment. Eyewitnesses say he walked straight up to her, no hesitation, no pleasantries, and dropped the line that instantly froze the entire room. "Your relationship with my father is over." Gasps. Murmurs, shocked stares, you could feel the air sucked out of the space. Brooke, usually quick with a comeback, was caught off guard. At first she laughed it off, assuming he was joking. But his face told a different story. He wasn't smiling. He wasn't bluffing. He meant every word. Brooke's response came sharp. "Excuse me? That's not your decision to make. Last time I checked, your father is a grown man." But Jim's son wasn't backing down. He leaned in, voice steady, and repeated himself. "No, it ends here. You're not about to use my father's name, his fame, or his weakness for attention. We're done letting you play games." That word, weakness, hit like a bomb. Fans who heard about the exchange couldn't believe it. Was Jim's own son admitting that his father was vulnerable? That Brooke Bailey had been taking advantage of him? Brooke, now visibly rattled, tried to flip the script. She allegedly clapped back with, "Don't get it twisted, your father came to me. If he wants me gone, he can tell me himself." But here's the twist that shocked everyone. Jim's son pulled out his phone. Insiders claim he showed her messages straight from Jim, texts that suggested he was already distancing himself from her. Lines like, "I need space," and "This isn't what I thought it would be," were reportedly on display. Brooke's face dropped. For someone who thrives on confidence, that moment cut deep. To be confronted not just by Jim's son, but by receipts suggesting Jim himself was pulling away. It was the ultimate humiliation. Social media lit up when word leaked out. Twitter exploded with fan theories. Not Jim's son stepping in like the family spokesperson? Hashtag messy, if the texts are real. Brooke been clinging to a dead relationship. Embarrassing. Jim letting his son do the dirty work. That says everything. But Brooke Bailey wasn't about to let the narrative bury her. That same night, she allegedly posted a cryptic Instagram story, a selfie with the caption, "Funny how little boys try to fight battles their daddies can't." Fans went into overdrive. Was she calling Jim weak? Was she daring him to confront her directly? Or was she hinting that the story wasn't as simple as his son made it seem? The drama only got worse when an insider leak claimed that Chrissy Lampkin herself had given Jim's son her blessing to confront Brooke. According to the leak, Chrissy was tired of Brooke being in the picture and wanted the family to take a stand. If true, it meant this wasn't just about Jim's son. It was about protecting the family legacy. And maybe even forcing Jim to finally choose sides once and for all. Brooke, meanwhile, was said to be furious. Not just because of the confrontation, but because the receipts suggested Jim was backing away without ever facing her himself. To her, that was cowardice. To the public, it was confirmation. Jim Jones was letting his family clean up his mess. The first major twist was clear. What started as rumors of a fling had escalated into a full-blown showdown between Brooke Bailey and Jim's son, with Chrissy Lampkin's shadow looming over the entire situation. But Here's where things get even messier. Insiders whisper that Brooke didn't just walk away after the confrontation. Instead, she fired back with her own threat. She allegedly told Jim's son that if the family wanted her gone, she had screenshots, pictures, and receipts that would prove just how deep her connection with Jim really went. The threat sent chills through the room. What kind of receipts? Photos? Messages? Proof that Jim wasn't as loyal to Chrissy as the family wanted to believe. Nobody knew for sure. But Brooke Bailey's reputation for stirring the pot meant the possibility was very real. Fans immediately split. Some sided with the family, calling Brooke an opportunist who overstayed her welcome. Others sided with Brooke, arguing that if Jim pursued her, she had every right to defend herself. But everyone agreed on one thing. The drama was far from over. The confrontation wasn't just an ending. It was the beginning of a war, Brooke versus Jim's family, with Jim himself stuck in the middle. And if those receipts ever see the light of day, this scandal could explode into something that shakes not just Jim and Chrissy's relationship, but the entire love and hip-hop universe. The confrontation between Jim Jones' son and Brooke Bailey was supposed to be the end of it. A dramatic mic drop, a family line drawn in the sand. But Brooke Bailey isn't the type to retreat quietly. And what unfolded next proved that this wasn't closure at all. It was just the beginning of an even bigger storm. Word of the clash spread across social media faster than anyone could contain it. Blogs picked up the story within hours. Jim Jones' son ends Brooke Bailey relationship drama splashed across headlines. Fans jumped in, picking sides, debating whether Jim's son had overstepped or whether Brooke had finally been checked. But while the public argued, Brooke herself was plotting her next move. Because Brooke Bailey doesn't just get pushed out of the spotlight, she fights back, according to insiders. Within 48 hours of the confrontation, Brooke started dropping cryptic hints online. Instagram posts with captions like, "Funny how the truth scares people, and receipts don't lie," even when people do, had fans speculating wildly. Was she bluffing, or did she really have dirt that could shake Jim's already fragile family dynamic? And then came the shocking reveal Brooke allegedly shared in a private group chat that conveniently got leaked. Screenshots of her text exchanges with Jim Jones. The messages weren't just casual, they were intimate. Sweet talk, late-night check-ins, and even hints that Jim had been promising her things he never followed through on. One message in particular made fans gasp. "I just need time to figure this out, but you know how I feel about you, if real." It meant Jim hadn't completely cut ties with Brooke, at least not emotionally, and it completely undercut the narrative his son had tried to enforce. The internet erupted again. Fans demanded answers. So was Jim leading Brooke on the whole time? His son said it was over, but Jim clearly didn't have the guts to do it himself. Brooke Bailey got the receipts. Chrissy, better watch out. Brooke doubled down, posting a picture of herself with the caption, "They want me gone. But I'm not going anywhere." The family, meanwhile, was said to be livid. Chrissy Lampkin, who has endured years of rumors and speculation about Jim's loyalty, allegedly told friends she was done being humiliated. Some insiders claim Chrissy confronted Jim directly after Brooke's leaks, demanding to know if he had really been stringing Brooke along while letting his son play cleanup. Jim, as always, stayed silent publicly, but silence only fueled the chaos. Here's where the escalation hit another level. A new leak this time from someone claiming to be inside the Love and Quent hip-hop production crew alleged that cameras had been rolling during part of the fallout. According to this crew member, Brooke Bailey wasn't just threatening with texts. She hinted that she had videos too. Allegedly, Brooke claimed she and Jim had been filmed together at private events, and that if the family kept trying to silence her, she wouldn't hesitate to leak the footage if true. It meant this wasn't just family drama anymore. It was potential reality TV gold, or poison, depending on which side you're on. Producers would kill for footage that explosive. But for Jim and Chrissy, it could mean the total collapse of their relationship's already fragile foundation. Social media went feral with the idea. Fan pages mocked up fake leaked video thumbnails. Gossip blogs ran with the story, and Brooke's name trended alongside Jim and Chrissy's for days. But the wildest twist. Rumors began circulating that Brooke wasn't just fighting for clout. She wanted a seat on Love and Hip Hop New York. Allegedly. She was leveraging the drama as her ticket back into the VH1 spotlight, daring producers to bring her on officially. If that's true, then Jim's son telling her it was over didn't end anything. It only poured gasoline on Brooke Bailey's fire. The shocking reveal here is that Brooke isn't leaving quietly, and Jim may not have the control his family thinks he does. With receipts in her pocket and whispers of videos, she's positioned herself as a dangerous wild card. Now the questions haunting fans are simple. Did Jim really want things with Brooke to be over, or was he secretly keeping her close? Did Chrissy know the full extent of Jim's involvement, or has she been blindsided yet again? And if Brooke really has the footage she claims, how long before it hits the internet, or worse, VH1's cameras? The drama isn't closing, it's escalating. Jim Jones' son may have delivered the line heard around the industry, but Brooke Bailey's refusal to back down means this saga is far from over. And if the whispers about Brooke's next move are true, the Jones family might be staring down the most explosive public scandal of their careers. The moment word spread that Jim Jones' son had confronted Brooke Bailey, the public reaction was instant, fierce, and divided. Fans couldn't believe that a private family drama had spilled out so openly, and even more, that Brooke Bailey seemed determined to keep the fire burning with her cryptic posts and alleged receipts. Twitter erupted first. Hashtags like hashtag Brooke vs. Jones, hashtag Chrissy deserves better, and hashtag Jim in the middle trended within hours. Fans split into camps. Team, family. Jim's son did what Jim should have done years ago. Protect the family, period. Team Brooke. Why is everyone mad at Brooke? Jim is the one entertaining her. Don't shoot the messenger. Team Chrissy. Chrissy been humiliated too many times. She deserves peace. This is sad at this point. The mess spilled over onto Instagram. Memes flooded timelines. One viral post showed Jim's son photoshopped as a referee holding up a game over sign, while Brooke was pictured rolling her eyes. Another meme read, Jim's son ended the season before it started. On TikTok, creators dramatized the confrontation with skits and reenactments. Some acted out Brooke's alleged clapback last time I checked. Your father is a grown man, while others recreated Jim's son's icy delivery of your relationship with my father is over. These clips racked up millions of views, proving fans couldn't get enough of the saga. Celebrities and reality stars quickly weighed in too. Erica Mena posted a shady story. Some women stay looking for a storyline. Sit this one out, sis. Safari jumped into the comments of a gossip blog with laughing emojis, while Tahiri chimed in more seriously. Family should always come first, period. Even former Basketball Wives castmates of Brooke had something to say. One wrote under a fan page, Brooke always knew how to keep her name in the headlines. This don't surprise me at all. But perhaps the most telling reactions came from those closest to Jim and Chrissy. Mama Jones, never one to hold her tongue, allegedly told friends she was sick of the disrespect and that Chrissy has been through enough. If true, that means the family isn't just united against Brooke. They're ready to publicly defend Chrissy too. Meanwhile, insiders whispered that Chrissy was furious all over again. After years of rumors, the idea that Jim might have left even the smallest door open for Brooke made her question how many times she'd been blindsided. Friends say she's been quiet but tense, carefully deciding whether to go public or keep the storm contained. VH1 producers, on the other hand, were said to be thrilled. A source allegedly told a blog, "This is ratings gold. The fans are eating it up." And the cast knows this storyline could dominate the season. But even producers admitted there was risk. If Brooke really had those videos she hinted at, the scandal could easily spin out of control, and not just for the cameras. Fans debated Brooke's motives nonstop. Was she really hurt and defending herself? Or was she using Jim's name in this confrontation to stage a reality TV comeback? Some said her cryptic Instagram captions were proof she wanted to stay in the headlines, while others argued she was just fighting back against a family that tried to silence her. What nobody could deny was the impact. In 1 week, Brooke Bailey went from a side rumor to the center of the biggest hip-hop reality scandal of the moment. Jim's son became a trending figure, hailed by some as the protector of the legacy and criticized by others as overstepping his lane. And Chrissy Lampkin, once again, found herself in the crosshairs of public sympathy and gossip alike. The industry reaction was clear. This wasn't going away anytime soon. Blogs scheduled back-to-back coverage. YouTubers started multi-part breakdowns. Even mainstream outlets picked up the story, framing it as yet another chapter in Jim and Chrissy's never-ending love saga. But under all the noise, one question kept haunting fans. What happens if Brooke actually drops the receipts? Because if the alleged texts and videos surface, this won't just be about Brooke versus Jim's son. It'll be about Jim Jones himself, forced to face the very drama he's been avoiding. Just when fans thought the confrontation between Jim, Jones' son, and Brooke Bailey couldn't get any messier, the story took a final turn that nobody was ready for. In the days after the face-off, Brooke's cryptic posts and alleged receipts kept the internet buzzing. But then, out of nowhere, a bombshell leak hit the blogs. Screenshots of Brooke Bailey allegedly threatening to go public with private photos of her and Jim Jones together. The screenshots weren't confirmed, but the language was damning. If your family wants to play games, let's see how Chrissy likes these pics. The internet lost it. Some fans accused Brooke of bluffing, desperate to claw her way back into the spotlight. Others believed every word, arguing that Brooke had always been bold enough to use whatever leverage she had. But here's where it gets even wilder. Insiders whispered that Jim himself had been forced to step in, not to confront Brooke directly, but to smooth things over quietly behind the scenes. Allegedly, he made late-night calls to Brooke, begging her not to release anything, promising that the situation would be handled if true. That meant Jim was caught in the very mess his son tried to clean up. The family, especially Chrissy, was said to be livid. Sources close to her claim she felt humiliated all over again, furious that Jim hadn't taken a hard stance and cut Brooke off completely. And fans began speculating. Was this the final straw for Chrissy after decades of public drama? The final twist came when a gossip blog dropped an anonymous tip claiming Brooke Bailey wasn't acting alone. According to the tipster, Brooke had a partner in the industry encouraging her to push this scandal, possibly even offering her a platform to expose Jim and Chrissy in a bigger way. Who that partner is remains unclear. But the mere suggestion sent conspiracy theories into overdrive. Twitter erupted with theories. If Brooke really has pics, this could end Jim and Chrissy for good. Watch. She's angling for a spot on Love and hip-hop. This is her audition tape. Not surprised if another reality star is pushing her to stir the pot. This screams setup. The cliffhanger couldn't be more intense. On one side, Jim Jones' son drew a hard line, trying to protect the family legacy. On the other side, Brooke Bailey refuses to back down, hinting at receipts that could blow the whole situation wide open. And caught in the middle, Jim Jones himself, silent, scrambling, and increasingly exposed. The question now is simple but devastating. Will Brooke Bailey actually release the alleged receipts, or is she bluffing? If she does, the fallout could be catastrophic, not just for Jim and Chrissy's relationship, but for Jim's public image and the entire Jones family brand. And with Chrissy Lampkin already fuming, the world is waiting to see. Does this end with Brooke backing down? Or does it end with receipts that finally shatter the illusion of Jim and Chrissy's unbreakable bond? One thing's for sure, this story is far from over. And just like that, what began as whispers turned into one of the messiest, most shocking reality TV scandals of the year. Jim Jones' son didn't just step in, he shut it down. His words, "Your relationship with my father is over," have now echoed across the internet. sparking fan wars, celebrity reactions, and even talk of leaked receipts that could turn this into an all-out disaster for the Jones family. But now the big question is, what do you think? Did Jim's son do the right thing by defending the family and putting Brooke Bailey in her place? Or did he overstep, interfering in something that should have been between his father and Brooke directly? And let's talk about Brooke. Do you believe her threats about having receipts? Or is she bluffing just to keep herself in the headlines? If she really does have proof of a deeper relationship with Jim, should she release it? Or would that destroy her credibility completely? Drop your thoughts in the comments right now, because this isn't just about Jim and Brooke anymore. This is about loyalty, family legacy, and what happens when private scandals spill into the public spotlight. Don't forget to smash that like button if this saga had your jaw on the floor. Subscribe for more wild updates and turn on notifications so you never miss